Did you know that the U.S. military draft is still in existence? While it hasn't been implemented since the Vietnam War, it remains an important topic of discussion. For context, in 1973, the draft was abolished with the establishment of the all-volunteer force, driven largely by the American public's wariness for what happened in Vietnam. Systemic inequities in the draft of wealthier Americans being able to deter service, and the fact that the size of our population has become so large in relation to the needs of the military, universal drafting became obsolete. The U.S. military draft, also known as Selective service, is a system that ensures the country has enough troops to defend itself in times of need. It requires all male citizens aged 18 to 25 to register. So if you have recently transformed, that means you have some more things to do.
Yo, wait, hold on.
However, this doesn't necessarily mean that everyone who registers will be drafted. According to experts, the chances of being drafted in the modern times are extremely low due to the all-volunteer force, which the U.S. military relies on. The military draft is seen as a last resort, only to be enacted if there is a serious national emergency. Every year, out of the 30 million eligible individuals, the military needs approximately 160,000 youth. But given recent war outcomes and economic conditions, meeting this number is growing more and more challenging. With American trust in this military waning, isn't it time to rethink how we recruit? Nevertheless, the military draft remains a controversial topic. Some argue that it infringes upon personal liberties and contradicts the principles of a free society. They believe that military service should be a voluntary choice, not an obligation. On the other hand, there are those who support the draft, highlighting the sense of duty and shared sacrifice it brings to the nation. They believe that it ensures a fair distribution of burden, defending the country, and strengthening our collective responsibility. Regardless of your stance on the draft, it's crucial to stay informed about its existence and implications. As citizens, we have a responsibility to engage in discussion about its relevancy, importance, and potential alternatives. The United States military is renowned for its strength and capabilities, but with a changing world and evolving threats, is our current system of recruitment sufficient to ensure our nation's security? In an ever-advancing world, technology and tactics are rapidly changing. We need to ensure our military stays ahead. On another episode of China and Russia send 11 military vessels near Alaska.
It's between the U.S., China, and Russia, with the U.S. Navy sending destroyers to the coast of Alaska last week after nearly a dozen Russian and Chinese warships were spotted patrolling nearby international waters, very nearby.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy C Lemons back again with the hacks. While serving in the military is an honorable duty that not everyone can or wants to fulfill, what if there was a way to ensure fairness and efficiency in the recruitment process? In this video, we'll explore the facts and discussions surrounding a limited military draft. Like and subscribe if you like the content. So this is how a limited military draft comes into play. A limited military draft would not be a return to mandatory service for all, but rather a targeted approach to identify those with the skills and aptitude needed for our modern military. With a limited draft, we can focus on recruiting individuals with an expertise in emerging technologies, cyber warfare, and specialized fields that are critical to maintaining our national security. His stance is to utilize both the selective service and military recruitment as well as a solution of how to ease our recruitment woes. The model he proposed will alleviate incredible pressures on our recruiters, lower the cost of finding new troops, and significantly reduce the much decried civilian military gap by subjecting all America's youth, rich and poor, to the possibility of military service via the draft. To put this in perspective, the establishment of the all-volunteer force also drove the military to expend an incredible amount of resources in terms of manpower and dollars to build a recruitment machine to attract America's youth to service. Considering it costs about $15,000 to recruit each new member, the overall cost each year exceeds $2 billion. And as 2023 unfolds, every service except the Marine Corps is poised to miss its recruiting goals. In 2022, the Army alone fell short by more than 15,000 recruits. This may call for our national leaders to step up, emphasizing that serving in the military is a cornerstone of our citizenship. According to an article on military.com, bringing the responsibility of a draft to all citizens, regardless of their background, could reignite public interest and maybe even reduce the likelihood of drawn-out wars. By harnessing the talents of those who possess unique skills, we can create a more efficient and effective military force. The limited military draft will also ensure fairness in the recruitment process, preventing any undue burden from falling on certain segment of society. Research suggests that a diverse and skilled military force leads to an improved operational readiness and overall success. The Military Selective Service System, also known as the Selective Service, is an independent agency of the United States government. Its purpose is to maintain a database of potential candidates for military enlistment in the event that a draft becomes necessary. So who needs to register? Well, if you are male and you have just turned 18, you are required by law to register with the Selective Service. This means all U.S. citizens and male immigrants must comply regardless of their status. Registering is simple and can be done online at sss.gov. It only takes a few minutes, and it's important not to forget, as failing to register can result in serious consequences like being ineligible for federal benefits or even being fined or imprisoned. Now you must be wondering why this is important. The Selective Service provides a way for the government to fairly and efficiently draft individuals in the times of a national crisis, ensuring a balanced and capable military force. While we haven't had a draft since the Vietnam War, it's essential to be prepared and understand the requirements even if the likelihood of a draft seems remote. Remember, registering for the Selective Service doesn't mean you'll automatically be drafted. It simply means that you'll be part of a pool of eligible individuals if the need arises. But understand, if you do receive a draft notice, you'll have a specific period of time to respond and follow the required steps. During this time, you'll receive guidance on what to do next and what your options are. In conclusion, the Military Selective Service System is a crucial component of our nation's defense. By registering, you're fulfilling your civic duty and ensuring that our country can effectively respond to any future challenges. While I may not necessarily agree with a limited draft, I will agree that some measures need to be implemented in order to counter the crisis that we are currently in. So if a limited draft needs to be implemented, then I cannot disagree if it is for the betterment of our country. I want to thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more informative videos like this. Take care and stay tuned for some more military hacks.